Hello everyone, and welcome to Orange University. On tonight's episode, Azorius Enchantment. So, this is the deck, or one of the deck that is kind of tearing up the metagame right now, and I think this is probably a very good deck. There's a lot of versions out there, and there's a few cards that are kind of interchangeably being played at the current stage, but I really like this version, and I want to share it with the whole class. Alright, so what we have here is a Azorius, very aggressive enchantment deck that almost calls back to the old Selesnya enchantment deck from the just rotated metagame, but it's a lot better in that we have now synergy with enchantments pumping cards, enchantments getting us 1/1s, and enchantments reduction, enchantment with card draw, enchantments with removal, enchantment with a big wide board, and then enchantment with hexproof. So back then, I think what we were missing in Selesnya, and what I didn't really like, was consistent card draw. Now this deck has a lot of consistent card draw. We got Enduring Innocence, which give us card draw whenever a creature drops. We have Silent Hallcreeper, which gives a card draw every time he attacks. And we have the Bottomless pool, well actually the other side, the locker room, whenever one or more creature we control deals combat damage, we draw a card. So there's a lot of things going on here with this deck. Let's talk about how it actually plays. So in turn 1, what you want to have is Optimistic Scavenger. Turn 2, you can have your 4 Silent Hallcreeper, 4 Gremlin Tamer, and 4 Inquisitive Glimmer as your turn 2 play. Of course, turn 3, we want to drop the Enduring Innocence as our 3-drop creature. But along the way, right, these are kind of the ideal scenarios. But along the way, a lot of times we want to use our aura to buff. We have 4 Ethereal Armor, 4 Shardmage Rescue, and 4 Shelter by Ghost. They each doing their own thing. The 4 Ethereal Armor makes one of our creature really, really big and also has first strike. The 4 Shardmage Rescue is a flash speed enchantment that gives our creature +1/+1 and also hexproof on the turn that it comes in. And then Shelter by Ghost give us creature +1/+0 life link and ward, so we can remove something and also gain life with it. But it also a lot of things. Remove something, gain life with it, and also gives it ward so that it has protection. So this card is what makes this deck actually work, but it's not like the red version. In the blue version, we have card draw that synergize with it, and we also have things that like the Gremlin Tamer that makes creatures, and we have the Optimistic Scavenger that makes all of our creatures bigger and bigger. Now we also have 2 runes that makes this deck kind of interesting to play, and that's really what I wanted to play this deck out, because I really like the runes rune cards in the new set, but it's kind of overshadowed by that red ley line. So the blue cards, or the rune cards we have, 4 Grand Entryway. It's a 2 mana that makes a 1/1 enchantment creature. So don't let the 1/1 fool you. It's also an enchantment, so it triggers your Eerie, it triggers your Optimistic Scavenger, it triggers your Gremlin Tamer, and it also costs 1 less if we have Inquisitive Glimmer out. So 1 mana 1/1 isn't too bad. But the other side of that, Elegant Rotunda, 3 mana. When you unlock it, put a +1/+1 counter on 2 creatures, up to 2 creatures. So we can actually buff our creatures by unlocking the other side of the room. And that unlocking room also costs 1 less when we have the Glimmer out. So this is actually 2 abilities, not 1. Enchantment costs 1 less. Unlocking also costs 1 less. So potentially this whole card costs 3 mana to play. Other side of that, the other card we have for room is Bottomless Pool / Locker Room. The Bottomless Pool is a bounce spell. It's a sorcery speed bounce spell, which is always terrible, but nowadays we can use it to bounce like a non-haste rat from our opponent's deck. That's always useful. And then the Locker Room is a 5 mana card that basically is a what is that called again? Curiosity. It's not, obviously not as good because it has to be combat damage, and it doesn't matter how many creatures we get through. We only draw 1 card. So this is not great, but it's really just a bounce spell. I'm still experimenting with this card. I see a lot of people play it, and I think that might be relevant. All right, and then we have lands. So we have only 22 lands in the whole deck. We gotta go fast. Gotta go real fast. So we have 7 plains. 7 plains, 6 islands, 4 Flood Farm Verge, 1 Archive, Meticulous Archive, and 4 Seachrome Coast. The Meticulous Archive is good, but you definitely don't want to have a lot of tap lands stuck in your hand, so there's only 1 in the deck. Fluff Farm Verge is fantastic because all we run is basic land, so this will turn into a dual land in most scenarios. And Seachrome Coast is also a dual land in the early game, so yeah, fantastic land sort of split for this deck. That's all I got. Let's go into the games. Alright, our opponent is Zach Lapale. Cool name. Zach Lapale, we're going first. Scavenger can't be played, actually. And then a Tamer. Interesting. Good thing it's on white by default. And they're red. They are Swiss fearing us. Do we get rid of their Swiss fear? Okay, a Gremlin can make a bunch of 1/1s. I don't know if that's worth it. Whereas in right now, the Shelter takes out this card right here. And I pump my guy to a 3/2. I gain 3 life. Don't think he can pay for the ward. Not this turn. Challenger. He attacks us. Perfect. Alright, this is also, you know, dual color land. You can play a Gremlin. It's so big right now. Eerie on the Scavenger. Or a club. Yeah, Eerie on the Scavenger. This is a 6 attack. We're at 26. They got 1 creature. Bring it on. They can have Trample. They can have Fling. They can have a lot of things, right? Bring out whatever you got. Turn inside out. We're gonna focus on more. Alright, so it doesn't die. Good. If it doesn't die, I guess he can still fling it at us for 10. If that's what he wants. No, just a scam. Alright, you got a scam. You know got a scam. GG, take that, mono red. Yeah, the life gain from Shelter by Ghost is so much. Alright, our opponent is Doctor. Cool. Somebody got their PhD. We're gonna go first, but our only creature... Actually, this is a creature. So we should be fine, right? We're gonna go first. We drop this land. That's not what I meant to say. Hello. I don't know. They don't... Okay. Arena has been out for, I don't know how many years. Since 2016. It's almost 10 years. And they still won't let me, you know, individually allocate where I want my emotes to be. And that's really annoying. Rescue. Do I want another one? I don't know what color he is. Yeah, okay, fine. Rescue is good, but not great. Because I need 2 white. For stuff to happen. They got a Verge. Alright, now I got 2 white. I wish I could have my rescue back, but here is a 1/1. Whenever 1 or more creature you control with power 2 or less enters, I just draw a card. Does it count as self? I don't remember if it counts as self. I guess we'll attack first, right? There's no pumps here. Also, didn't look like there was any interaction. Do I play this? Or do I play this? Let's play this. We got a protection spell. So this is probably the Azorius Oculus deck. Nope, they got green. Oh yeah, I don't know what they are. Band control? Would be kind of interesting if it's band control. I actually can't play the Innocence and have protection up. And that's kind of annoying. They got 3 mana. What could they play for 3 mana here? I guess we'll try to unlock. This gets beyond the smite. If he smites a 2/2, I'll let it go. Interesting. Just letting this happen. There's 9 in speed, unfortunately, so I gotta do this sorcery speed if it has creature as a blocker. But the great thing about this is, well, let's see if anything happens first. But what I'm saying is, destroy target creature with no creature has greater power. Okay, well, let's protect it first. What the best thing about this next turn, I can pay 4 for unlock a room and then attack him. But now that I already used my Shardmage, I think the proper play next turn will be Enduring Innocence to draw cards. I don't know if that's gonna happen. Manifest Dread once. Okay. So he's gonna try to turn his face up, I believe. Or give it hexproof or something. Huh. If he gives a hexproof, I can't actually get through. So, do I bounce it? Or do I Shelter by Ghost? I think I want to Shelter. No, I think I want to bounce it. Oh, okay. That's fine then. Then I'll play the Enduring Innocence. Not sure if I get to draw cards with this. I don't think so. Ooh, okay. So I think that might have been a mistake. Because I have 4 lands. I could have unlocked this room to deal combat damage and draw a card. Okay, he didn't do anything. So now I can unlock it. That is lethal. He didn't have anything? Okay, I was playing around nothing. GG, doctor. Go back and work on your dissertation. Alright, our opponent is Fabian. Hello, Fabian. Are you going to play blue-eye control? Like everybody else? Ooh, that's a lot of Shelter by Ghosts. Which is pretty good, unless I got no creatures else to stack it on. I can only stack on the Grand Entryway, and that's not what I want. We'll see. We'll see. Something might happen. Start with an island. Mountain. Alright, so they're red. With a Swiss Sphere. Not bad, right? Because even though I got to go first, I didn't get to play this on turn 1. I could just Entryway a 1/1 and hope I don't die this turn. That's very risky. But I guess I had to play on curve. Because if I played the Bottomless Pit, I will be playing a 1-mana card on turn 2, and then I'll be able to play a 2-mana card on turn 3, and that's my Phoenix check. Okay. Oh no, my one blocker that's supposed to be Shelter by Ghost. Okay, he is trying to get me with a shock. That's not fun. I draw another land, so that's also awful. There's like 20 lands in his deck. I dropped 5 out of 9 cards. That is definitely a shock. Can't play around it. If he had it, I'm just gonna quit. Or play with fire or something, right? That's a shock. Eesh. Okay, I could have not played it, and then what? He plays this. He still has that shock. He'll always be there. Yeah, it was not gonna work out for me. None of these 2 rooms are gonna work out for me either. He's just gonna hold up like a, what's it called? The lightning strike. Okay, this is probably the best card I could have drawn here, but let's see how much of this will matter. Oh, okay. Let's take out the Swiss Sphere. That grows. I get my Eerie. They have a Scamp. Okay, they're gonna buff. They're not gonna buff. This is just whenever... Oh, when I unlock a room too. So, they're trying to kill my Gremlin Tamer. And they didn't do it. So they want to do it in response to me buffing with their shock. And they could do it. This costs 3, this costs 5. If I did this, what happens? I get to draw a card and I get another 1/1. This does not draw me a card. Let's go. I mean, if he has a shock, right? That's okay. He's letting that happen, so I get to draw 2 cards. Actually, no, 1 card. Whenever 1 or more. 1 or more. Whenever a combat damage. Try to mitigate 1. Not sure how much of this will matter. Dreadmault's Ire. Well, at least I don't have an artifact, right? Do you want to sack and kill the Gremlin Tamer? He might. Don't know if that's worth it. I guess it should be because I'm gaining life. But it's questionable. I think he can fling, but the fling is not a very good card to play right now. That's just 3 extra damage. Why do you do that? You could just sack it in response. Okay, well, that happened. He gets his 1/1 back, or 1/2 back. And he deals 3 damage to me. I could bounce the Swiss Sphere, but he'll just play it again. Don't think that's worth it, so let's play a Creeper. This can't be blocked, but it can block. Well, or I can attack, but then... No, I don't think I want to attack here, right? Let's unlock this room and make these 2/2. Alright, now the question is, do I want to attack? Or do I want to hold them up as just blockers? Low on life, maybe I need a blocker. 1 extra card might help, but it also might not help. Definitely not helping this turn. Oh, okay. You got creatures and stuff, you don't want to play it out? You had all the removal too, you freaking loser. On a red. Alright, our opponent is Lucky Fur 8987. You shouldn't be announcing your pin numbers out there like that. Alright, there's a lot of Gremlin Tamers. There's an enchantment creature. Alright, good enough, I think. I'm gonna try this hand. Who knows? I got turn 1, I got turn 2. I can go real wide, real quick. This is legendary? Not even legendary. I'm gonna charter a course. Alright, it's that deck. That's not a land, so I guess I need to draw lands quicker. It's eerie on something. Oh, I tame it. Well, there are games where I draw 5 lands and 9 cards, and there are games where I draw 2 lands and 19 cards. Should I just bounce it? Well, it's a white land, so don't think he's gonna block, right? Yeah, he didn't block. Means I get to draw a card. We have 2 plus 1 counter on Silent Hallcreeper. Does drawing a card matter here? I don't think so. This is pretty fun. Bounce this back to your hand. I'll eerie the Silent Hallcreeper. Okay, GG. Ah, you're a little too slow for me. Lucifer. Alright, our opponent is Darkadian. Yep, you got it. Hey, we're gonna go first. We got a Scavenger, we got Shelter by Ghosts, and some grand entryways. Let's find out how grand is our entryway. That sounds wrong. It sounds very dirty. What are they playing though? Swamp? Okay. So definitely not playing out the Gremlin Tamer just to have it die. Do I play out the grand entryway and just have my Optimistic Scavenger die? Didn't feel like there was much. This is an enchantment? That's cool. But they definitely have nowhere to run, so Shelter by Ghost isn't going to catch anything off guard. Ethereal Armor. Cool. Not going to play right now. I think I'm going to play the blue-white card. Lots of Eerie going on. Unstoppable Slasher. Okay. Okay. They're going to slash us. Guess we'll shelter our Glimmer by Ghost. Go down to 11. We're at 23. We're not going to die to the combo this turn, but they definitely have removal or something, right? Bloodletter. Do we just pump everything? I kind of want to play this, but that doesn't do much. This also doesn't do much. So do I pump the Tamer? Because this has Ward. I'd much rather pump this, but it's got so many things on it. I don't think that's fair. Stupid cop, stop coming after me, alright? I didn't do anything. So probably still put it on this. It's gaining a lot of life and force him to block. One, two, like that. So we got pretty wide, and if he even blocks the it's gonna go down to 1 here. Okay. Does he have Rush of Dread? Holy Annex, so not Rush of Dread. Duress? Well, what's the plan here, buddy? You draw a card and you gain 2 life, but this board is more than 2 life, so what? I thought he was gonna Rush of Dread me, but no. He didn't block the big thing. Weird. Alright, our opponent is Amber Flower. I don't know, that name sounds very red, and he's Jace, so he's probably playing a red deck. I feel bad. Even though I go first, this is a tap land. So do I want to Scavenger into a tap land? I don't think so. Still, right? I mean, if I draw a land, I kind of get saved. I don't need to play a tap land because I can play a Scavenger. And if I don't draw anything, I can play another Scavenger. There is a salvaging. Yeah, I think there is salvaging not land draw, which I didn't draw a land here. I could play Ethereal Armor, but that's not against a green white. I don't think so. What are they? Are they bunnies? Do people still play bunnies? That's a good card. I do kind of want it. But I need more lands. Should attack first, but I guess on green white I wasn't expecting anything crazy. No bunnies. I think I want to play the Hallcreeper rather than the Gremlin Tamer. Because yeah, these are value with the Hallcreeper later on, but right now I think I just need to have the Eerie's triggered correctly. Why won't it let me target? It was so weird. Okay, it feels like they have something, right? Could it be Elspeth's Smite? If he had Smite last turn, why didn't you use it? Not on my watch, maybe? Didn't play it, just past turn. It's a weird bunny deck if there are bunnies. No, they got blue, so it's banned. Do we play anything here? Not really, right? Not into this. Just gonna let that happen? I'll draw a card. Would the Enduring Innocence get countered? Nope, didn't get countered. I got more Eerie, so let's put that on Innocence. Put that on the Hallcreeper. Just spread it out. So do they have like a 4 white for 3 mana? Not with a blue mana. If it was white, yes. Manifest Dread. Okay, so it's the Dread deck that's gonna flip face up. Nope, not gonna happen. GG. Weird. I see so many of these bad decks that just didn't do anything. Alright, our opponent is Whack. Yeah, people were up in armor about Whack like 2 years ago when it's New Capenna came out. Talk about that later. Do I keep this hand? I don't have a blue, so I can't play the Silent Hallcreeper. I could play the Grand Entryway. It's not a great hand, but also not bad enough for me to mulligan. Because it's got no tempo, right? It's got no tempo, but it's got no card draw, so it's got no value either. But hopefully if I draw a blue, Silent Hallkeeper can give the value it needs. It's just almost good enough to keep. I don't know, it's just, like, the only thing I can play is the Grand Entryway. Against most deck, that's not going to do much. So you know what, I'm going to mulligan again. Is this better? No. But am I going to keep? Yes. Alright, well, turn 1, I got nothing to play, so here is an archive. Drop a land. Wow. I put a land back, I draw another land. It's 5 lands out of 7 draws. That's ridiculous. 5 lands out of 7. Can't even put the rescue on the Glimmer because, yeah, don't have lands. If that island was playing, that could be a different story, but it wasn't. So he's going to cut it down. Okay, so his deck is full of removal. Passage into a swamp. Not like it matters. Can't play it. Can't play anything right now. I was right. Passage into a swamp. Alright, let's play Innocence. Kills the Innocence, will come back. Then our Grand Entryway can draw us a card. Or the second Innocence can draw us a card. Overlord? Okay. Very scary. Reanimator deck. And then he's deciding which land to play, huh? Bitter Triumph. Plays a Swamp, cut down our... No, plays the Valgaloth Faithful. Yeah, what are the Aussie blocks, right? Guess I'll play this to draw a card. It doesn't matter, I draw a card anyways, even if it comes back, so... Let's attack. I draw a land, and our turn. Don't know how fast I can race him. If he reanimates something scary, can we Shell Trip by Ghosted? This is gonna be it's gonna be really risky. Commune with Evil, okay. Puts 1 in his hand, the rest in his graveyard. No, nothing really good to reanimate yet. Cave of Coils. Yeah, it's just protected right now. No attacks. Impending is coming still. Let us draw another card, maybe. Alright, she just draws 2, right? I could Shelter by Go something. The Faithful? He really has something in his graveyard right now. I don't think it's worth it. He needs something to put into the graveyard, and then he gets to do it. So maybe we Ethereal Armor the Enduring Innocence. I mean, the armor really, I need the armor to get through for damage. takes it. Okay. Pretty sure he wants to put like a big thing in his graveyard for this reanimator deck. Last turn it was not big enough. Okay, he plays the Overlord. Still nothing. The sad thing is there's two things on the board. I can't get rid of both things, right? I want to be able to, but I can't. I can Shelter by Ghost one of it. Guess we'll play the Glimmer first, or the Tamer. That way we get to draw 2 cards and see what we get from there. Another Grand Entryway, and then a land. So I can Shelter by Ghost the Overlord here. He still doesn't have anything in his graveyard, so he could play this and then reanimate, and that might beat the scary part, but kind of had to go with it. Take this out. No blocks for you. And then, no, not that. We can try to make our Enduring Innocence real big. He's going to take the 11. Whoa! Okay. Trying to reanimate a Valgrival. Is that even good enough? Draws and doesn't discard because he has the Faithful. 4 lands, he can sack the Valgrival's Faithful with nothing to return. GG! We're at 40, we're playing EDH. Alright, our opponent is Gneiss. Is that his name? Gneiss? Aw. Why does he get to go first? I should get to go first. I am the one playing this game. And they're just NPCs. Alright, I'm gonna keep. Hello. I'm just kidding, opponent. You're cool. Mtgarena. Oh, it's the warded out crazy guy. Okay. Can't Shelter that by Ghost, and he's gonna go real wide real quick. So, what do we do here? Do we attack with the Scavenger? Maybe he blocks? No block. Okay. Then we'll get a Gremlin Tamer. And then he's gonna make the Toadstool Admirer real big, real fast. Nope. He's gonna play Archivist. 2 or more artifact enters, put 2+1 counter on it. And whenever 1 or more enchantment enters, draw a card. Ooh, that's a pretty good ability. Can't let that happen. Oh, okay, that was 1 Shelter. Don't be such a coward. Goodbye. Alright, our opponent is Icro? Who's gonna crow? Alright, opponent goes first. Don't even have 1-drops. Okay. Do have 1-drops this time. And I think everything's pretty good. So what do I put back? Probably a Glimmer. Or probably the Tamer, I think. Does a Glimmer help? Does a Tamer help? It's hard, right? I think the Tamer is pretty good at getting us more creatures on board. But Glimmer is very good at reduction, and I probably need the reduction. Because I have less lands. You know what? Yeah, the Glimmer is an enchantment himself. That kind of tilts the bar to the Glimmer. Golgari. Interesting. They get to go first, so this is already not looking good. Put on the Glimmer. That way he can't, just cut it down. 3 mana Kalissa, okay. now we can probably just bounce it. Bounce this. We'll get that wrong this time. Let's pump my Scavenger. And also play this. So we get a 1-1. Alright, yeah, we get a 1-1 and we buff the Scavenger to a 2-3-3. Actually, no, let's make it even bigger. 4-5. Down to 12. What are they going to play here? Ballista again. They have a cut down or something? They have something. Ooh, for another Scavenger. And we will shelter our Glimmer with the Ghost. Cut down. Do we protect it? I think we protect it. That's lethal, right? So we get 1-2. What? It's plus 1, right? 1, 2, 3, plus 3 on this. So that's 7. And then 8. Well, this is going to be 8, 9, 10. You know what? Protect it. Because it gives me 2 plus 1 plus 1s. Yeah, GG, right? I'm trying to do the math here. I think that's lethal. GG. Welcome back, everyone. Now that you see all of those games, how did it feel? I gotta say, there's a lot of fast games out there, right? Every game lasts about 2-3 minutes. You either win or you lose, and we definitely lost a lot. This is not the deck that I thought it would be. You know, we won a lot of games, which kind of overwhelmed our opponent pretty quickly, and I also lost a lot of games, not because this deck is bad per se. I would say that because I didn't know how to play it in a lot of these games. A lot of these scenarios, it was all about the mulligan. Now I learned you have to hard mulligan for Scavenger, right? If you don't get it, you most likely are not going to win that game, but you could kind of get out of that if you have a Silent Hallcreeper, a Gremlin Tamer, or an Inquisitive Glimmer, right? One of these cards are definitely a necessity for the game to play out in a way that we want. If we don't have that, if you just have these, sometimes I wanted to keep a Grand Entryway as an opener because that's technically a creature, but it's not. This is a payoff. You need, or this is a trigger for the payoff, so you need to have these actual creatures in your opener, otherwise you're going to have a bad day. Another thing I learned, Bottomless pool / locker room, not that great. Yeah, you bounce a card, right? And then sometimes it matters. And then the other times when you want a card draw, locker room may seem like a good idea, but that's way too much mana for this aggressive deck. What I did notice, there was another card that I actually didn't even know about. Was it Eerie? How do you spell Eerie? That is not how you spell Eerie. I think it's 2E. This card, Entity Tracker. I think this card might be a good replacement for the Bottomless pool because what happened is that you get to flash speed play him for 3 mana, and then whenever you play an enchantment card, you draw a card, or unlock a room, you draw a card. So a lot of times we don't have to remove with the Bottomless pool. We can just keep drawing cards with the Entity Tracker. Maybe it's a 2-2. Maybe it's 2 tracker, 2 Bottomless pool / locker room. Maybe it's 2 trackers or 4 trackers and 2 pools and no Enduring Innocence. That's really up to the fine tuning of this deck, but I honestly think this deck right now, it works pretty good. I have to learn how to play it better, obviously, really all in the mulligan, but this is definitely the top tier version, or I should say the top tier type deck. The version, I'm not sure, but this deck has what it takes to be #1 versus the mono red, versus the Rakdos version that flings, versus the Goro version that flings, versus the Boros version that just protects with their Shelter by Ghost. Yeah, there's a lot of different versions of that deck out there, and then this deck can't put up his numbers. And really, that's all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.